This is the video that led to the arrest of a 19-year-old teenager from Clearwater.
Look at that pickup truck.
In it, you can see his truck peeling through the Pride intersection in Delray Beach, leaving behind black tire marks through the symbol of unity and support for the LGBTQ+ community. For you guys to see that video, would you consider it a hate crime?
Absolutely. There are a lot of intersections. You pick that intersection because you want to make a point.
The teen was charged with felony criminal mischief and reckless driving, the same crime a 20-year-old was charged for 3 years ago at the same intersection.
It's a message. It's a message of hate. It's a message of intolerance. And we need to have, I think, more of a deterrent for that.
Deputy Vice Mayor Rob Long wants to memorialize the intersection, hoping it allows stricter charges to be made, but it'll be up to commissioners to agree. In your opinion, do you think he was trying to be hateful because this is a Pride intersection?
No, I don't see it that way.
For Nikki Bodner, who walks her dog Maggie through the intersection regularly,
There's tire marks from skidding when it's wet, but then there's tire marks of people just going right through it.
she said the issue is safety, as Delray Beach police say that the teen turned himself in and was taken to the Palm Beach County Jail. Criminal mischief and reckless driving.
Wow.
Is that enough of a charge? Is that too much of a charge?
No, I think it's acceptable. You know, I think it's harsh, but I think he could have hurt somebody.
But the damage is done, as the city says it'll cost over $6,000 to repair the intersection, some of which could be paid for by the teen. In Delray Beach, Joel Lopez, WPTV, News Channel 5.
All right, guys, so in this edition of Cuckoo for Cocoa Puff World, apparently it is socially acceptable to vandalize or tear down statues of great American heroes and monuments. For example, the founders, okay? This is something that we've been seeing all across the country. Most recently with the pro-Palestine protests in Washington, D.C., they are vandalizing statues of our founders and American presidents. In fact, you have cities like New York City tearing down statues altogether. Okay, apparently this is socially acceptable stuff. Okay, you can get away with this stuff. Some of it, again, is sanctioned by the city. However, if you happen to leave skid marks or drive over a Pride display that is on the ground, apparently that is an act of hate and bigotry. And that is what we got to talk about here today, as a teenager in Delray Beach, Florida, was arrested and charged with felony criminal mischief for reckless driving over a Pride memorial that is on the ground. So I want to talk about it, but before we get into it, we have to have a word from the sponsor of this video, Night Watch Pro. The most useful and popular gadget that you can get this new year is undoubtedly a pair of night vision binoculars. That's because until recently, they were just too expensive for most hobbyists. But recent advancements in technology and research have made night vision more affordable than ever. This is why I highly recommend and use Night Watch Pros, because I'm always keeping an eye out for potential young scholars. Night Watch Pros are affordable night vision binoculars that allows me to see and record in pitch darkness with Predator-Like vision. I can use these for watching wildlife, scenic viewing, surveillance, patrol detection, home protection, and much more. These Night Watch Pros allow night vision recording in Ultra 4K HD or highly detailed 36 MP photos. Plus, they feature 5x zoom capabilities, anti-shake technology, a crystal clear 3-inch screen, and 7-level adjustable IR illumination. Get the Night Watch Pro for a whopping 15% off this New Year's. Plus, stay secure with a complimentary 100% lifetime guarantee replacement. Gain access to the Preppers Peak exclusive newsletter for weekly life-saving preppers tips, free express shipping, and much more. Order now before this offer ends by going to nightwatchpro.com. Once again, that's nightwatchpro.com and use promo code 15OFF.
It happened again. An LGBTQ Pride intersection defaced in the city of Delray Beach, and it was all caught on camera.
Yeah, police say a 19-year-old from the Clearwater area intentionally had spun out over the street mural. It's similar again to what happened back in 2021.
CBS 12's Lily Ortiz joins us outside the Delray Beach Police Department with more on today's arrest.
19-year-old Dylan Brewer turned himself in this morning after police say they had enough evidence, including videos catching him in the act. One advocacy group is sharing its frustration following the arrest, even calling it a hate crime. It's a Delray Beach incident over a week ago that many describe as hateful. A security camera from a nearby garage shows the moment the driver of the truck intentionally did burnouts, leaving significant damage to the beloved LGBTQ plus Pride intersection along Northeast 2nd Avenue and Northeast 1st Street. Police say 19-year-old Dylan Brewer of Clearwater did this at least 3 times the night of February 4th. He was booked into jail on 1 count of felony criminal mischief, over $1,000, and reckless driving. Rand Hawk is the president of the Palm Beach County Human Rights Council, an advocacy group behind the $16,000 streetscape, which symbolizes unity.
It was dedicated in June of 2021, a wonderful ceremony. The city did just an amazing job putting it together, and 3 days later, Alexander Jarrett came up with his truck, deliberately drove through and had his friends videotape it.
In that case, Jurich was sentenced to 2 years probation, community service, and a mental health evaluation, but no jail time for the crime.
The judge recently said, you don't have to even fill out the 2 years. You're fine now. This is not the message we want to send people when it comes to hate crimes.
But it's not considered a hate crime under Florida law, according to the Palm Beach County State Attorney's Office, since the victim is a city and not an individual person.
Our organization and another organization paid for this. We paid $16,000. So the question is, are we victims, or is it just the municipality?
And the state attorney's office released the following statement. We have strongly urged the state legislature to change the law to allow charging such acts as a hate crime in the future. Our office will always support the LGBTQ plus community and the enforcement of laws that protect against acts of prejudice. Hate has no place in Palm Beach County. And the police department spokesperson saying that Brewer is expected to make his first appearance in the morning. Hawk hopes the state will seek restitution for the cost of repainting. In Delray Beach, I'm Lily Ortiz, CBS 12 News.
Yeah, so I want you guys to understand. Apparently, these skid marks on the LGBTQ crosswalk is a form of vandalism. However, the LGBTQ paintings, the pride display in and of itself is not vandalism, even though it is covering up a crosswalk, right? So you're talking about symbols on a crosswalk that are used to identify where to go and how traffic is supposed to move. Painting an LGBTQ memorial over that is not vandalism, right? But putting skid marks over the LGBTQ display is, okay? And the woke residents of this town want this to be charged as a hate crime, right? So this is a hate crime, according to them, but when you vandalize a statue of the founders of this country, when you tear it down, that's not a hate crime. That's an act of patriotism, right? According to people with similar political ideologies, okay? That is how the left works, okay? You have a painting that's on the ground, by the way, right? This is on the ground. So technically, it's on the ground. It is there for you to drive over, and it is a hate crime to drive over this painting in an aggressive way. That is an act of hate and bigotry. But tearing down the statues of the founders or vandalizing that, something that's not on the ground, something that is not there to be driven over, yeah, that's not a hate crime, okay? Again, it's just amazing how that works. I don't think that you can have it both ways, okay? If vandalizing the statue of the founders is not a hate crime, then this is not a hate crime, okay? In fact, I'm not sure exactly why they continue to do this. Why do you continue to put these symbols on the ground, right? Like, for example, Black Lives Matter. You remember the Black Lives Matter Washington, D.C. memorial? And people get upset and mad when people were walking over it, okay? When people were, leaving stuff on the ground or whatever. It's like, well, if you don't want people to walk on it, then why do you have it on the ground, right? Why do you have it on the ground? Again, it's just funny how these people operate. they put stuff on the ground and then they get mad when people walk on it or when people drive over it. It's like, okay, well, if you don't want people to do that, then why are you putting it on the ground? I really don't understand. I really don't get it. But in today's political climate, unfortunately, this is what the left has said is okay. They have normalized this type of stuff, okay? Because remember, this started back when the BLM protests were happening. And again, they were saying, oh, no, it's social justice to vandalize public property, right? This is what they said. So now all of a sudden, when it happened to their symbols and the things that they want people to respect or to honor, all of a sudden it's a hate crime, right? They want to call foul. And again, I just don't think that they can have it both ways. Okay, this is the type of political environment that the left has created. What you're saying that these people are boohoo, whining, and crying about when it comes to a hate crime is something that is created by the left. Again, it's unfortunate, but this is what they created. This is the type of environment that they signed up for, right? They just don't like it when it happens to them. So with that being said, no, I don't think that this should be a hate crime. I hope that Florida sticks to their guns here in regards to it not being a hate crime. The guy was charged. He's probably going to have to pay for it. And that's it, right? I mean, it is what it is, okay? I mean, I don't think that there needs to be a hate crime attached to it. And I don't even think the city should be allowing this type of stuff in the first place, okay? They really shouldn't be allowing it. But if you're going to allow it and you're going to allow people to paint stuff on the ground, then yeah, I mean, you got to be prepared for stuff like this to happen, okay? This is kind of what you're signing up for when you allow this type of stuff to be put on the ground. I would argue actually that the pride symbolism, the painting, is actually an act of vandalism itself, since these crosswalks, these things are here. We paint these things so that people can understand where to go and how to direct traffic. I'm not sure if it helps or is even safe to paint stuff over that to make it more confusing in regards to what you're supposed to do at the intersection, right? So I don't even think it should have been there in the first place, but since they're going to put it there, this is kind of what you're signing up for, especially in today's political environment where the left has normalized this type of stuff. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.